Merry meet. It's Rowan, and yay, it's Thursday's spiritual panel. And today's spiritual panel is on the zodiac sign Leo. So we get to jump in and talk about Leo. This is a spiritual safe place, and tonight is open panel. So if you're a Leo or you have any experience with astrology and the zodiac, please feel free to request, and you are welcome to come up. So this is the 12-week series we're doing on all the astrological signs. So this is our 5th week with the 5th zodiac sign, which is Leo. So for those that are new or may not know, the zodiac calendar starts with Aries, and then it goes Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo. So we're very, very excited for that. Right now we're in Virgo season, so we will not be in Virgo season next week. When we talk about Virgo, we'll be in Libra. So we are going through this and having fun. So hope everybody is excited to learn more about the zodiac signs. So I'm just going to make sure that Brennan and Azrael usually join. So we'll give them just a minute because I'm actually on time today. And I do apologize. Right now the internet is okay, but earlier today I was having massive internet problems at my house. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll have good internet service so that you can hear me. Because that's kind of important to be able to hear me. All right, we'll give it another minute, and I'll just kind of, have some fun here. So please feel free. Again, like I said, this is open panel, and we are talking about the zodiac sign Leo or astrology Leo. So again, if you're a Leo and you want to jump up and talk about like your sign, you are more than welcome to. And if you've ever had an experience, or if you study, or if you are an astrologer, or even if this is a hobby, please feel free to join. And welcome, Bren. How are you?
So when ya had your D studio bar, when ya what's on the menu? What it is a stick you, it's boomba. Fitting for Leo, because fun fact about the sign Leo, in Vedic, it's named Simba. That's the Vedic name for Leo, Simba. And that's the name of the lion in the Lion King.
Yeah.
See?
And lion is its symbol.
Planned. It's all planned, I tell you.
Well, you know what? It probably is. So, I mean, like there are and actually, when you look at some of the Disney movies, like really Lion King was the first one that wasn't misogynistic and kind of broke away from their standard, and they were teaching some really valuable lessons. And now we have like Frozen, where they're really teaching, like I love the song Let It Go. Like when you listen to the words, like it's just extremely profound, and it's like this is great for little kids to start learning. So, but yeah, so I'm sure that they had an astrologer that kind of helped guide them a little bit. Yeah.
I mean, I could see that, yeah, because the way the movie starts, it shows the sun rising. Mm-hmm. And the sun is it's known as the first celestial body to rise upon the horizon.
Yeah.
And that's also where you calculate because if you're doing days of the week in the Hora, you start on Sunday, right when at sunrise at that exact time. That's the sun hour. Then after that, then it goes down into, let's see if I can remember. So sun, then after sun, and then it goes to moon, then it goes to Mars, then it goes to Mercury, then it goes to Jupiter, then Venus, then Saturn. And then it just keeps going through those exchanges every hour. It keeps changing. But that's like planetary hours and planetary minutes, but that's really deep, like, talk about fine-tuned to the millisecond, but to each their own.
Yes. And I actually have notes to the millisecond, and I'm like, I will never memorize these. Like, not that I didn't want to, but it is very precise. And it is nice, like those that know it, where they can just like regurgitate it, like boom, boom, boom. So, all right, we'll start with Leo. So, Leo covers July 23rd to August 22nd. And like I said earlier, it is the fifth sign in the zodiac. So, and it is our second fire sign. So I'm Aries. I kind of like the fire, fire's kind of fun. The symbol is the lion, and its element is fire. Just like I said, it's a fire sign. Its ruling planet is the sun. So just a couple of the key traits. Well, and the one thing, and I've said this before, so I love Saturday Night Live. So, long time ago, and why I can't remember her name, the girl who always said superstar, that is our Leo sign. So if you've ever seen it, it's Geller, Michelle. Her name is Geller on this, not Geller. Is it Geller? Oh my gosh, I have to Google it. Sorry. SNL. Because I have to get it right. Yeah, Mary Catherine Gallagher. So if you've ever and this was an old from the 90s, maybe even late 80s. Oh, there we go. 1995 to 2001. So okay, mid 90s. But she would go superstar, and just that to me is Leo. That person that is very charismatic and is the star. So if you have a room with an Aries, a Sagittarius, and a Leo, the three fire signs, the one who is going to be the superstar is going to be the Leo. They are the one that steals the show. They're charismatic. They are very confident. They're very theatrical, extremely theatrical. They tend to be very warm, very generous. They are very loyal, and they are strong leaders. Again, if you have a room and you have an Aries, a Leo, and a Sagittarius, the Leo is going to stand out as the leader. They are going to literally take charge right away. Where the Sagittarius and the Aries, they will take charge, but it's almost like when the Leo steps up, literally, as an Aries, I can tell you this, the Aries and the Sagittarius are like, oh, we're not going to fight with that Leo. We'll step back. We're going to let the Leo just do its thing. So, because again, Leos are very prideful. So, and so they can tend to sometimes be a little bit overbearing. So that's why a lot of times you'll be able to go, oh, if somebody tells you there are three fire signs in this room, see if you can figure them out. You will know the Leo right away, because they will be taking leadership and they will literally take charge. And they will be the star. And you will see the next two people that are going to stand up and want to be leaders or have that leadership quality is going to be the Aries and the Sagittarius. But you'll kind of see they'll be like, let Leo do its thing. We're going to let them take it. So, but like with most fire signs, yes, when we talk about loyalty, you definitely want a fire sign on your side, especially a Leo, because they are very loyal and they will stand up for you. They are the one, because they're charismatic and because they are the superstar, they will, if you do something that offends them for a very good friend or a family member, they are going to be very loud and boisterous, and they will put you in their place. So that's something to kind of keep in mind. They do have to have, so these are some potential challenges that Leos may have. They have that need for recognition. So they definitely want to be recognized. They want that attention. Again, it comes in that theatrical aspect, and sometimes theatrical can be positive, and then sometimes it has that little bit of a challenge to it. They are very resistant to change. And this also means changing their mind. Now, I'm going to tell you, I have a couple really good friends who are Leos, but I also have a father who's a Leo, and they know everything. So when they actually are wrong on something, you can show them the facts and they will not change their mind. The best way to have a Leo change is to kind of be like, wow, I read this interesting article, or you kind of like let them think it was their idea, then they're going to change. If you don't let them think it's their idea, they're not going to change their opinion on it. So you will see that they are reluctant to change. They won't do it very easily. When they do it, as long as it's their idea, they'll do it and they'll do fine. And they're intense. Like I'm an Aries, I can get a little hyper. Like sometimes I'll be like really passionate about like my crystals or herbs or astrology, and you'll see me get like a little bit too animated, and you'll be like, woohoo, someone needs to pour some water on that fire sign. You'll see with Leos, my animation that I have is way, way, way lower than a Leo. Like I can never outshine a Leo. Even if I intentionally try, the Leo will always be a lot more intense. So yeah, you get a Leo, a Sagittarius, and an Aries in a room. Just know you're gonna have it's that really intense fire. You really will. And I can say that because I'm an Aries. My father is a Leo and my brother is a Sagittarius. I felt bad for the Gemini, the Cancer, and the Pisces, especially the Pisces, who was my mother, because when the three of us got going on something, it was, you could feel the intensity and the passion. So just kind of keep that in mind. Yeah, when three fire signs are together, Leo's going to take the charge. Keep in mind, it's that lion, and it will be very intense and a lot of energy. So you will see a lot of energy from Leos. So that's the little bit I have with the Western astrology and my little high overview. So Bren, I'm going to let you jump in with Vedic and anything I missed on the Western astrology. So take it away, Bren.
Alrighty, Leo, the bad old putty cat. Okie dokie, so Vedic name is Simba, which is, of course, yes, the name of the lion from the Lion King, so there's that connection. The ruling graha, or planet, is Surya, the sun. So when we hear Surya, the sun, being the ruler of the sign of Leo, well, what's the sun? The sun's a flamer! And what do we also know about that? Flamboyant as heck! Leo is the most flamboyant, out there sign you could think of. The type of fire it is, because there's different kinds of fire, it is the creative fire. It is the fire of expression. It is a pure fire, and it's also symbolized by, of course, the lion. It is fixed creative fire, masculine. It's Motrikona, meaning where a planet feels most comfortable, is the sun. Sun rules it. The exaltation is none. But, however, there are some schools of thought that consider Jupiter getting exaltation also in Leo, alongside Cancer. But now, why is that, though? Well, look at it this way. You have Cancer, which is for the moon. Leo is for the sun. Those are two luminary signs. What happens when you take Guru and you put it in one of the luminaries? He becomes a guru to the divine masculine, guru to the divine feminine, based on that. So it can be, Jupiter can have an alternative exaltation. In fact, Jupiter has, see here, 1, 2, technically that would be 3. He can be in exaltation in 3 signs. Cancer, Leo, and Aquarius. We'll worry about Aquarius when we get there. We got 7 signs to go for that. The body parts it has dominion over are the diaphragm, the heart, and the spine. There is no planet that gets pissed off in it. However, Saturn would beg to differ. If it could say anything, it would say, I create. And in the constellation in the constellations within Leo, there are 3, of course. The first one is called Maga, which is known as it's symbolized by the throne that is being hoisted up by the ancestors, the Pitris. Then there is Purva Falguni, which is the front legs of the bed, the performance stage, the hearth of the home, and it's also where you would see people doing like more of like creative expression, acting, playwright, and drama, and also film and media. Then there is the last remainder in Uttara Falguni. And now that's the back legs of the bed. It is the back stage of the performance stage. It is the also where now you have somebody doing the checks and balances of everything in the front. And also Uttara Falguni is also where you see the political stuff come into play. That's where most of the politics comes in. So Leo has connection with either ancestry, performance stage, or political, based on those three parts of Leo. The first is the ancestry, the second is the front of the stage, the third is the backstage. So some things that align with Leo. So here we go. Dynamic, barren, regal, creative, artistic, bold, show off, leader, arrogant, political, lazy, dun dun dun, children, big family, lineage, past life deeds, vibrant, father's father, the father of the father, mantras, speculation like gambling, good deeds, the hills, the mountains. It is very technical because the king is the one that has used technicality to say, well, he goes to the gallows by using technicality and rulership like that. And another thing regarding Leo, especially male Leos. If you have a Leo rising or if Leo's a prominent sign, you most definitely will be a mama's boy. You most definitely. You may not admit that, but somehow, some way you will be. Said what I said, I'm not redacting it. It's not bad or good, it's just it is what it is, just roll with it. And
it's funny you say that, Bren, because my ex-husband was a massive mama's boy, and yes, he had Leo in that sign. And it was bad. I mean, I would literally get mad at him and say, will you cut the umbilical cord? I said that to him all the time.
And while speaking of that also, the reason why is because what is the fourth sign away from Leo? Scorpio. What is Scorpio? Hooking on and latching on for dear life. That's where the intensity, like, I must keep a hold of this. That's where the mama's boy energy comes in. Then the mother feels like she has to do this heavy karmic burden of raising a Leo. Because it won't let go. But yeah, fun fact about that. And depending on, let's say, if you have certain planets in Leo, let's see here. Sun in Leo, it's comfortable, it's where it's ownership, so it can handle. Moon, it's in a friendly sign, and it can handle just fine, though. In order for someone to be emotionally stable and calm, they need to have recognition, otherwise their emotions are going to be like, how come you're not noticing me? Do you not see what I do? Are you not entertained? Possibly. Mercury, good Lord Lanta, if this person speaks, you'll hear them. And when they get mad, oh boy. Talk about whipping out the good old Shakespeare brain like, oh, you gollywagging snagawak. What? Yeah, like really out there. Venus. Oh boy. Venus does not like Leo. Because you're taking the princess, Venus, and Venus wants to be making relationships. What's the king? The king is stuck with the queen. Venus doesn't want to be stuck with just one person. Venus wants to connect with people, wants to form relationships and negotiate. The king doesn't negotiate. So, Mars likes Leo. Because, well, we got the soldier now, he's taking pride. Just got to make sure you don't roar the wrong person. Jupiter, well, wisdom of the father comes into play. And also Jupiter naturally has significator of the fifth house, so that also plays into it as well. A lot of blessings, and one's wisdom comes from their creative expression. Then, oh boy, here comes Saturn and Leo. Oh why I gotta be in this flamer's chair? Get me off this damn throne! I hate this. This thing's flaming too much. Somebody's duty, commitment, and sacrifice, it has to be either exaggerant and they are fearful of stage and they're fearful of creative expression. However, though, the way that they like to do their work is they like to be doing the same kind of expressive type of labor. Uranus, well, talk about having the randomness of like the Kool-Aid Man. Oh yeah, just crashing through the wall. That kind of randomness. Neptune. Oh, well, with Neptune and Leo, what you can see is that somebody's imagination is really loud. And that's also potentially where you can see possibly really great actors can come through that. But at the same time, it does risk for having, let's just say, they get really animated when they're intoxicated. Not by just, the drink, but something else. The little shithead Pluto. Oh boy. Well, when we talk about transformation through creativity, well, there you go. Getting on stage and making it go. So you can definitely see Leo, Pluto placements. They'll usually be acting out roles that involve sudden and also pertaining to, like, say, let's just say Boom Boom LaRue's being dropped. That start with an N, yeah. Rahu, the North Node. Oh boy. This person needs attention. Otherwise, they will do whatever it takes to get that attention. Even if it is doing some kind of dramatic stunt that's going to be regretful in the future, they don't care. They want that attention. K2, the South Node. K2 goes, meh with it. Oh, I'm being noticed? Meh. Oh, you did so good in that play. Meh. K2 is detached from creative expression. K2 instead may be really proficient in doing things like electrical work, but another thing with Rahu in Leo, they have a risk of developing addictions a little bit more easier than other placements. They do have that risk. Last of the Mohicans, Black Moon, Lilith, and Leo. Well, despite Lilith being in an enemy sign because she doesn't like the sun, ugh, yeah, woo, praise the king, woo, he's so marvelous. Not. So Lilith and Leo, she likes being in there because she's getting the recognition, she's getting noticed. So one is able to seduce others exceptionally well. One gets revenge by making a scene. Like, they will say, do you see this idiot over here? Wow. Really? Wow, you should have been named Big Mistake. Rude. That kind of, like, loudness. But then they also have a really sensual way of creative expression as well at that. But yeah, those are the planets in a nutshell with Leo.
I love that. Thank you so much, Bren. I hope that helps everybody else who's listening, whether you're listening live or you watch the replay that will be on Patreon and YouTube, because I do post the replays on Patreon and YouTube. So yes, we are excitingly talking about Leo, because I mean, it is a fun sign. It really is. And if you know any Leos, they're fun to hang out with. They truly are. So thank you, Tina. Super appreciate it. And yes, thank you everybody for the gifts. Always appreciated, never expected. We do have open panel tonight, so feel free. Bren and I will just chat for a bit. And yeah, I don't know, like, do you have any experiences, Bren, with anybody in your life that is a Leo you want to share?
Well, oh boy, here we go. Well, my significant other has a Leo rising. Talk about bloody heck, good God, why are you so attached to your mother? Don't get me wrong, I get it. Yes, I know. She wasn't there for you growing up and wasn't there for you in crisis, so what's the deal? But nope, that mama's boy energy is still attached. It is what it is. But the thing with the Leo rising, though, again, because I've seen this many times, they have to be very careful because they will sometimes do things for attention that they'll later regret. So they have to think before they do anything creative or they pursue something. Big warning with that.
Yeah. And honestly, that's not just with the rising. Like most Leos I know, and keep in mind, I mean, I've grown up with my father as a Leo, so yeah, if they don't pay attention to what they're saying and stuff, they can say things that are extremely offensive, like very, very quickly. And it might just be like one word they added in a sentence that if that had just been taken out, it would have been like a perfect sentence. Let's see. I heard that the moon in a child's sign at birth is the relationship with the mother. So, Bren, you want to have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, I mean, in that regard, you would say well, it also depends because if you have, let's say, moon in the fourth house naturally, or wherever the sign of Cancer is at, that's going to influence the mother. So, for an example, say you have, let's go with moon in the fourth of Scorpio, and then Cancer is now going to be in the 12th. So when it comes to the connection with the mother in this example, the mother figure is going to be emotionally intense. 1 minute the home's okay, then it is sudden. But now, because since Moon rules the 12th house, the mother figure is going to be regularly absent. The mother is going to be in isolation. The mother may be imprisoned, may have to go into a hospital, may be going to an asylum, may be traveling a long distance way, may have to go over a sea or an ocean. Or the mother may be, may be, what's that called? Like take a vow of celibacy and become devoted to a spiritual practice. But because since Moon is now looking at the ninth place of that, it shows that the higher power can potentially blind the mother figure into following a belief system. And it can be very intense. But at the same time, with Moon being there, she gets directional strength. But with Moon is Scorpio in the fourth, this person, I mean, they need to express their true feelings, exactly how they are, and they need to not hold it in. And they cannot neglect those that are close to them. Because the minute they don't express emotion, the minute they stop, that's when everything falls apart. And I've seen it happen time and time again.
Hope that helps, Tina. So, yeah, I hadn't heard that. So that's actually fascinating. I mean, there is so much about astrology. And like, I know, like, Azrael was on once and had picked up, like, he was talking about it was like a really heavy book and it was overwhelming. I mean, I've done that too, because astrology gets really deep. And so you have to have, you can't just jump into like a deep book. You have to have those
Yeah,
baby
no.
steps.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm very fortunate because I had a mentor teach me like every day up until his passing. So I was lucky. But yeah, because I mean, I woke up at 5 a.m. every morning. I had to make sure that I was awake, and I picked up the phone when he was calling. I missed one day, and oh boy, oh man, oh boy, I was in for it. The next day, we pretty much did, because what we did, we started at 5, we went all the way to 12. No, well, the next day, we went from 5 all the way to 5, 12 hours. And oh boy, I learned just to wake up at 5 the next next few times. But
Don't accidentally sleep in.
yep,
Yeah, I
but
mean, I've taken classes, but I don't have a mentor. And I mean, you can see the difference, because it's like I'm knowledgeable, I'm not a beginner. But you can tell you're ready to mentor people and you're ready to be a mentor because of the studies that you've done.
and a quick like little gem too for those that are even wanting to learn astrology at all. The best tip that I can give you is the same tip that I got from my mentor. Whatever the heck you learn, regardless of what system you use, it don't matter. Take everything you got and learned, throw it at the chart. Don't matter what you get. I don't care if it's a different system. Careth, I have none. Just grab it all and fling it at it and see what works. Because what I do is I have Western placements, but I use Vedic rules. Because if you have the Vedic rules, you can apply those special techniques, like the one, for an example, like, let's see here, for your 7th house ruler, wherever it's placed, like, say, I'll put myself as an example because I'm going to make this nice and fun. So Aquarius rising, Leo is my 7th house sign. Where the bloody heck did Sun go? Oh, it's in Libra. Okay. All the way over there, flaming. Okay. So now what is the opposite sign of Libra? Aries. Okay. So, with that in mind, themes related to Aries are going to be at play. Well, here we go. Of all the places I can meet my significant other, it was on MySpace. What's Aries? My space. My, one. There you go. Now, when we take a look and flip it over on the other side, he has a Leo rising. Okay. All right, fine. Whatever. Opposite of that is Saturn. Okay. Go find where Saturn's at in Aquarius. Okay. Oh boy, here we go. Look back over to Leo. Well, what do we know about MySpace? It was a creative hot mess. Like, creative expression everywhere. Everybody had their own unique page. You could see people becoming a little bit narcissistic when they were on your top 8. Yeah, that's Leo. So you can kind of see how it just connected like that.
Yeah. So please feel free, if you want to talk about Leo and you know anything about Leo, you can request and come up. If you don't feel comfortable coming up, please feel free to put comments and questions in the chat, because that's why we're here. We're here to help you through it.
And before I forget, because now also, in terms of like correspondences with Leo, number 1, the assigned stone for Leo is ruby. Ruby is his assigned stone per Vedic text. Alternatives are, but it could be a lot more than just these. First, the second alternative is sunstone, then citrine. You can also go with rutilated quartz. Then there is also Libyan desert glass. Sphene is another one. There is also yellow sapphire. But, hold on, pump the brakes. Usually yellow sapphire is for Jupiter, but it can be an alternative if you want to go that way. Orange calcite, carnelian's another. Another good one would be yellow jade. Crap. I'm looking right at the stone and can't figure it out. Oh, gold. That's the primary metal.
Pyrite.
Ah, yes, pyrite. Yes.
Mm-hmm. You said carnelian, you said sunstone. I think so far all of them you've said are ones that I know too, other than the pyrite. You know, I like yellow jasper for Leos.
Uh-huh.
It has a very beautiful energy too. Yeah, I think we've done.
Yep, unless, I said orange calcite. Now, when we take a look at, and also Solaris Sunstone, but Solaris Sunstone is both Moonstone and Sunstone put together. But now, herbal-wise, well, of course, obviously, the sunflower. Who would have guessed? Lemon, orange,
Calendula, aka marigold.
Yep, definitely marigold, yes.
Mm-hmm. Rosemary, chamomile.
Oh yeah, rosemary, spicy. Chamomile, yes.
Saffron.
Oh yeah, saffron. That's luxury. And safflower.
Yes.
Even though it's an impersonator.
I love black-eyed Susans too for Leo. They work really well with Leo, and a lot of people sometimes they think the black-eyed Susans are baby sunflowers, but they're not. They're literally they're black-eyed Susans. But yes, they also are good for
And
this.
also, crap, what was it? Oh, chrysanthemum is another one because
Yes.
they're so vibrant in colors.
Hmm.
And also osmanthus. Now, osmanthus, I'll tell you, osmanthus is luxury. It is exquisite. It is somewhat flirty, and that is that. And also Melissa, Melissa, or lemon verbenum, definitely.
Yes. Yes. And oh, it is such like if you ever it's a really great one like when I make essential oil when I make my blends for Leos, I usually always use Melissa in it. It is a
Yes.
very essential oil, but I mean it brings out that vibrancy that Leos have as a fire.
Tangerine's another one. You can even, oh, and also clementine. Clementine.
Yeah, we could almost say all the citrus fruits.
Yep, all the citruses except lime.
Yeah,
Lime.
I was gonna say that.
Except lime.
We're being on the same page except lime. Yeah, lime's the
Um,
oddball there.
and also Frankie,
Frankincense.
frankincense.
Yeah, I was just
Good
thinking
old Frankie.
frankincense. Yes, 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 yes. I love frankincense too. It's a great one to use.
I think that's all of them. I can't really think of any more.
I can't either.
Now, deity wise, well, King Surya, which is the sun. You can even also say all the phases of the sun, depending on like because there's the solar day, which is like the lunar days, where the sun goes and changes. So all of them. You can say, of course, Apollo can be associated with Leo.
Raw.
Um, yep, Ra. Technically, by technicality, you could say Sekhmet by technicality, but the more the ferocious, like, oh boy, side.
Yeah.
Um, what else would be for
Soul.
King
The
Arthur?
Norse goddess.
Which
Norse
one?
soul.
Oh yeah, Soul. Um, Helios,
Yes.
Dawn. Oh crap, what is that name? The eight sons. No wait, yeah, the
Lu.
eight. Which one?
The Celtic god Lu.
Oh, duh. Oh, gosh. The
It's
eight
so
son-
that's why we're both here.
the eight sons in the Chinese mythology, even though that seven of them got shot down, like there was only one left. Yeah, by Hu Yi. There's that one. There is also Anhor, who is a lion god that is related to the Kemetic tradition. I believe he's the god of the sands and the desert. I believe, might be wrong. But let's see, who else is there? Yeah,
All the
really?
others.
Oh, duh. Wakey, wakey, Amaterasu.
Mm. And I'm sure we're missing some because one time I did a workshop and it was a really fabulous workshop. And my friend was teaching it and it was on the goddesses. And he handed me a stack of papers this big that had the majority of the goddesses in which Pantheon they were part of. It was humongous. I mean, and it went through almost every country you can think of. And it even said in this, it said, this is not a complete listing. And there are so many deities out there because when you look at each individual country, and sometimes specific countries may break down by like their counties or provinces, and each one might have different deities. So, when we're touching on the deities, we are probably missing a lot. So, And just, the other thing we didn't talk about is the actual tarot card, because hello, we do Tuesday tarots. It is the strength card. So the strength card is the card for Leo. So that's something to think about. And when you think about the Rider-Waite strength card, it is very yellow. It is very bright and vibrant. And we have, yep, that's right, the lion is on the card. So that's also something fun to think about when we are thinking about our astrological sign of Leo. So, so that's always really fun. So I'm guessing that Bren got a call, so he'll be back soon. We do have there is a solar eclipse coming, as we were talking about Leo. See, we time these things. We just like come up with these ideas, and then they astrologically we have like all these interesting things coming. So yes, the solar eclipse is on this Sunday on the 21st, and it is new moon in Virgo during this solar eclipse. So this is going to be a lot of very interesting energy. So yeah, go outside. I don't know if I can't remember if it's visible. Let me see if it will be visible, because I know like the lunar eclipse wasn't visible to us because of where the Earth is rotating and where the moon and the sun were rotating. So we sometimes have this where we don't see, where we don't see it. But bear with me. As I look, nope, we won't be able to see the solar eclipse. So it's because we kind of moved it, we are slowly moving. This is why we're going into winter and why the southern hemisphere is going into summer. So it's just the cycle that we go through, the fun, beautiful cycle of the Earth and how we rotate. So yes, so if you've seen, like, I don't know about you, Bren, it has been such strange energy this week, and I know it's from the eclipse and all these other cosmic activities going on.
Yep. And I mean, I'm just over here just thinking like, I really hope that there isn't going to be a misstep, because how there's some kind of magical, let's just say a game plan that's happening in a well-known city. I'm just saying, don't do anything stupid. That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
Because I mean, don't get me wrong. It's one thing, if it's at me, but if it's like towards my significant other's family, don't get me wrong. I'm spiteful, but oh boy, yeah, I can get nasty. And they won't see it coming. Oh well.
We all have a little bit of that, like fire signs. You want to stay away from fire signs when it comes to that.
Yep. That's why I got my lovely moon, drunk Saturn, and Lilith in Aquarius, looking at Leo being all meh. Yep. Oh gosh, now that I'm really thinking about it, like, oh, no wonder wait a minute. Actually, that plus my Cancer Mars, oh boy, and then plus my Scorpio Venus, well, yeah, that definitely gives, he is spiteful, vengeful, he will track you down, and oh boy, you will feel it emotionally.
Mm-hmm. I know my Lilith is in Capricorn, so I'm like, I just kind of laugh because I'm like, yeah.
That placement, I love that placement, to be honest, because it's like, the way you get revenge is like, well, you pretty much put him in timeout and be like, hey, sit. But wait, sit. Listen, you're not going to do that again. Get it?
It was so funny. So I was in my astrology class, and then they didn't even really touch on it. And then I took a class from Michael Herkes, the Glam Witch. Uh-huh. And he was talking about our Liliths and going into great detail. And so I'm like pulling mine up because he actually tells you in the Glam Witch book how to pull up your Lilith. And I was like, I remember my one class told us to do it, and I never did pull it up. And I work with the goddess Lilith, right? So I pull it up. When he's going through and I wasn't fast enough during class because I was trying to write down notes. But when he said Lilith and Capricorn and described it, I'm like, oh my God, that sounds like me. Then, like, as soon as he was done describing all of those, he kind of took like enough of a break that I could pull mine up. I just busted up laughing because I was like, as soon as he started describing what Lilith and Capricorn was, I was like, that sounds like me. And then I pull it up and I'm like, yeah.
Well, I mean, the good way I could describe Lilith and Capricorn, think of that character that Meryl Streep played in The Devil Wears Prada. Like, So, about your design, how come it hasn't done anything yet?
Yeah. Yeah. The hard part is like in the job that I work, Monday through Friday, my 9 to 5 job. I have to be very, very careful because of my Capricorn and Lilith.
Yeah, because Lilith and Capricorn, you cross her, she will. I mean, she will put you in timeout. You will know not to do that again, and you might, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I have to sit and go, okay, this is my client, and I can't tell them what I want to say. Because there are times I'm like, oh my gosh. And it's funny, the days my husband doesn't work, when I get off phone calls or if I get an email, I'll be like, the words that come out of my mouth, and my husband's like, you didn't say that to those people, did you? I'm like, oh no, I say it out loud and I have to give myself 10 minutes to think about it. So, yeah. and I'm not like that all the time. It's just when something off happens or where I take something rude, like, because some things do come across pretty rude and I'm just like, I've been places where people like like in Chicago, people will cut in line in front of you. And like when you've been in a line for an hour and someone cuts, okay, first off, don't do it to an Aries, but don't do it if they're Lilith in Capricorn. Because my husband's like, you just jump on them. And I'm like, yeah, if I've been in line for an hour, go to the fucking end of the line. Are you that blind? And I don't hold back. I'll be like, are you blind or stupid?
Yep.
Yeah.
Same thing with also like with the Lilith in Aquarius, especially in the first, it's like, oh wow, look at this hot shot. He must think he's so important coming to the front. Oh, typical. Ain't shit, dude.
Yeah, one of my good friends, her Lilith is in and actually when we've gone places and people like are rude or something, like, yeah, oh my gosh, I'll never forget. I was about ready to say something. We were like at a little crystal shop and the person in front of us was just so nasty to the cashier. And I'm like, I should say something. And my friend, just before I even could even think of like something to say that wouldn't be super rude, she just, again, the Aquarius, that woman that was rude to the cashier, I don't think she would ever be rude again.
No, because Aquarius is defiant, rebellious. It comes out of nowhere, and you don't know how to respond to it because it's eccentric.
Yes.
You're taking Lilith, who's also defiant, who's also rebellious. And she gets revenge in a way where you do not see it coming. It comes out of left field and it stuns you.
Yes, it does.
Like, what? What? Yeah, you ain't shit, dude. What is that supposed to mean? You don't mean anything. If you kick the bucket, we wouldn't care.
Yeah, you can tell. Like, I mean, like you can see, like, I would, whose chart would be fun to pull? Jimmy Fallon's. Because of how, I mean, he would be fun to pull. There are certain people that because of how they speak, and even when they're trying to tone it down, you can sit there and go, oh, I wonder where their Lilith is. Like I'll watch things like that and go, I wonder. And we can't necessarily pull everybody's charts, but it would be fun. Maybe we'll have to do that at some point, Bren. Like let everybody in the chat like vote on somebody to pull, and then we can pull a chart and talk about it like a week later.
Oh, actually, yeah, that would be very interesting. So that way you can also see like how I read the charts.
Yeah, that actually would be really interesting. just for fun, maybe we should do that. Let people submit so that when we're done with going through the 12, maybe we can at that point
Yep, that'd be like like the
pull the
spiritual panel, like astrology reading, and we're going to be taking a look at. Let's see who's this week. Oh,
yeah.
he who hums most. Okay, okay, let's do it.
Hmm.
No.
Yeah, that might be super fun. Yeah, you know what? If those watching, if you like that idea, give us hearts, and we'll know that the more thumbs up, depending on where you're watching it, or the more hearts, we know that you really want to do that. And then we'll come up with, like, as we're getting towards this series where we're talking, giving the high overview of the sun signs, then maybe we'll do that. But I think that would be fun. That would be a lot of fun, Brian, because we did have that one time where we talked about Gypsy Rose Blanchard and somebody else.
Gosh. Oh.
And yeah, I mean, it was pretty, it was, and they were very brief, very, very brief. Like, I mean, at one point I looked up at serial unalivers, and it was very interesting. It was like a tie between Taurus and, I want to say Virgo, but I might be wrong.
Actually makes sense because Taurus, well, for one, the beginning of Taurus is the blade. It's the sharp razor. The next one is Rohini, the chariot. And Rohini gets jealous, envious. And they will go after things. And then the last one is Mixture Up, which is now the seducer, the one that gets pursued. That the lures in. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I had looked it up out of curiosity, and my friend I was with at the time, it was right after we'd taken an astrology class, and I'm like, I think that, and I literally said to her, I said, I think there's most serial unalivers are Tauruses. And when we Googled it, she's like, oh my gosh, because it was like really close tie between Taurus and another sign. Um, I don't think it was Libra. I want to say I think it was Virgo, but I was really shocked because Virgo and Libra I wouldn't think would be that way, but I cannot remember who the second sign was, and it was a very close tie.
Well, and I mean another way of looking at it too, because the way it's looking at it is that's basing it only on the sun sign though. There are
Right.
other
Yeah.
like, but
Yeah. It was
however,
basing it exactly. And there's other signs that come into play, especially when we're looking at the Mars. I think the Mars has a very big input, and so does Mercury, because if they
and
don't take
Lilith,
the communication,
Lilith too.
yeah, and
She
Lilith will.
actually does represent assassinations and hits.
Yeah.
That's one of her significators.
Yep. Yeah, so there's a lot, and it was just looking at the sun sign. So, like, and it's really interesting because we could look at anything. We could look at world leaders. We could look, like, I like watching things because at one point in time, I felt bad for Harry and Meghan Markle, and now, like, all this other stuff's coming out, and it's like, oh, I let them manipulate, like they manipulated this story when Spare came out and when they were on Oprah Winfrey. And so I'm like, their charts would be fun to pull. I mean, there's like a lot of people in the world that the charts would be fun to pull. When you look at certain newscasters or politicians or poets, or, I mean, there's a lot that would be really fun. So that would be a fun series. So yes, if you like that, let's give us lots of hearts, because then I'll know that we'll come up with a plan for that. So yeah, if you like that idea that we pull a chart for somebody and go over it and kind of talk about different signs, start giving us lots of likes, give us those hearts, and then we'll know. So, yeah. So tonight we're talking about Leo. If you have questions about Leo, please pop them in the chat. If you want to just chat about Leo, go ahead and pop it in the chat. But like I said earlier, like, Leos are so loyal. It's like really nice to actually have like a relative that's a Leo and have, friends that are Leos. It's really come in handy. I don't know, like, if you want to make any comments about that, Bren, like if you've had any experiences that you may want to share, or just general comment about.
Well, let's see here. The only experience with a Leo that I've had was one of my, like, the exes of mine. And oh boy, talk about obnoxious. And good God, I mean, I'm going to be really cruel and point blank here. The The amount of times where I told him to piss it and told him, "You don't mean anything, kid. Go away. Nothing." Well, he likes me. No, he doesn't. Besides, you need to stay in school, kid. Go away. Yeah, like that level of arrogance. Like, oh, go back to school already. You're doing truancy, brat.
Yeah, and you know what? I noticed because I can think of a few Leos that were just really hard to swallow and hard to be around. Because like what can happen is their ego can take over, and when it takes over, it can be too overwhelming. Like even for a fire sign, it's like, oh, I can't deal with this Leo. Um,
I mean, I would. I mean, if anything, it's hard not to go like, "Wow, look, he's being a flamboyant flamer. Look at him go. Look at this, Leo."
yeah.
Bad old pooty cat.
Oh yeah, because they're so it can be. And ironically, I did white nails too, so that's kind of funny. But yes. So I mean, like, yeah, and they can be very charismatic, very very charismatic. I remember in college. There was somebody at the university. So I was in part of the theater department for fun because like it's fun to be in theater, right? And one person who was extremely talented and one of the best actors, I remember saying, "Oh, he's a Leo. He's got to be a Leo." And then one day he heard me saying, "No, I'm pretty sure he's a Leo, but I don't know when his birth date is." And he goes, "I am a Leo. How did you know?" Like it was just like so totally obvious by how charismatic he was, how dramatic he was, how he loved the attention, especially like afterwards because he'd do well. And, like if there was a standing ovation at a play, he'd be like, "We got a standing ovation." And it was like just very animated with joy. And but yeah, I knew a lot of the theater kids were Leos, which was, and the actors, not like stage crew, but the actors and actresses tended to be Leos, which was always really fascinating too. So,
Aquarius is also the sign that gives the platform and organizes and structures the performance for Leo to perform on.
yes, yes, they are. I mean, it's so interesting when you see how all the signs like kind of mesh together. But yeah, with Leos, a lot of times you will see like one of the things is like I did talk about how they don't want to change, and you'll attest to this. Like you could literally show them facts and they will be like, "No, your facts are wrong. I don't know where you got them." And you'll be like, "No, really, like these are legitimate facts." Like when COVID was going on, my friend who's a Leo, she was like, when we were talking about the vaccine, she's like, "It's like the Spanish flu and the vaccine didn't do anything and people were unaliving." And I'm like, the flu vaccine didn't come out till the 1930s and Spanish flu was in the 1920s. Like it took them that long to get the flu vaccine. And she would not believe me. She's like, "No, you're wrong." And I was like, "Show me where I'm wrong." And I literally had like medical documentation showing when the vaccines came, like the exact date. And she's like, "No, your information's wrong." Like, okay.
Well, you want to tell the doctors that?
Yeah. Yeah. And it happens. Because like my dad, like my sister will be like, "Dad doesn't understand. I'm trying to explain it to him." And I'm like, he's not going to. He thinks that he's right and he's not going to change his opinion. So you have to make him think it's his idea and then he will change. But yeah, it's like, well, and I grew up with that. Like when I was little, you took his word for it because, of course, he's, your parent. And when you're little, you just kind of take the parent's word for it. But then, like, when you start, like, high school starts hitting and your brain that's when you start realizing, okay, my Leo father isn't
Well,
really
but even another thing also, this is going to sound so horrible, but hold the wine glass. Do with what I will with this information. The best way to, let's just say, influence a Leo to change is you bring something to them with the idea of wanting to help improve something of theirs. You tell them, what do you think of this? And like going towards something they enjoy and helping them expand a passion of theirs. The minute that you start doing that, you'll start getting the brownie points. But then after a while, you can woozy woo them because that'll get their influence, and trust your instincts, and then you become like the king's advisor.
Yes, yes, and that is so true. It is so true. It took me like so yeah, when people say they're Leos, I'm like, okay, I know how to deal with that. It's just like, like sometimes I'll be around people and they'll just start randomly crying and I'm like, oh, Pisces. It's like you can kind of like there's certain
There's somebody
characteristics
that
that are obvious.
and there's somebody that's just like going all over the place. Up, that's Aquarius, typical.
Yeah, yes, yes. Quite frankly, most Aquariuses I know have a lot of like underlying OCD, and you can see it. It might not be in everything they do, but it will be in something. And like, as soon as you see it, it'll be like, you're an Aquarius, aren't you? Yeah, how'd you know? Yeah, I thought so.
This is because somebody was trying so hard to keep me in a box, and I said no, f that. Nope, not doing it.
Yep. But I like, well, see, I have a lot of Aquariuses in my life. And so that's another sign that I'm just like, I'm used to it and it doesn't faze me. Like I've had some people that are like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, yeah, well, they're this, like they're Aquarius or they're this. Like I laugh, like, because my granddaughter, she's a Sagittarius and the energy she has, but see, my brother's a Sagittarius too. And they literally have like the same like you can just see it. And my daughter will be like, oh, she's doing this again. And I'm like, yeah, she's a Sagittarius. That's Sagittarius trait. And she's like, you're so calm about it. I'm like, because I've been around Sagittariuses forever and I'm a fire sign myself, so I understand it.
And another thing about Aquarius. Now, Aquarius being also the urn that's carrying everything. Aquarius is the sign that bottles up the most. They bottle up, but as soon as they get to their max capacity, they have to dump it. They have to dump it. Somehow, some way, is either by isolation, or they get pushed to that point where they just take the urn of whatever, dump it on the person's head, and go bonk.
Mm-hmm. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, that is so true. That is so true. I just laugh because, like, well, I always told my kids, I'm an Aries, and if you make me mad, Mount Vesuvius, because Aries actually has a lot of patience for being a fire sign, but when we get upset, you better run because it's going to be like Mount Vesuvius. And those that don't know, that's the volcano that went off that covered Pompeii and Herculaneum. But yes, it's the same. But like you're just saying, as soon as their urn gets full and that water starts to come out, watch out.
Yep, and the water can also, well, the urn can carry anything from like, what's that called? It can carry anything from water, belongings, or anything, you name it.
Yes.
But the thing is, once it's full, it has to get rid of everything because it takes in all and everything that's going on around it. But at the same time, Aquarius does also have the cracks in the urn as well. So as much as it tries to hold everything, it slowly leaks out its like what it's trying to hold. So whatever it takes in, most of it just leaks out of it. So that's usually when you can see people when they're in conversation, they just come out of nowhere and then they just start talking about something completely irrelevant. That's the leakage part coming through. Yes, cusps are real. They do exist.
They do. And you know what? Like one of my children, they are a cusp, and I will tell you, they're a Capricorn Aquarius cusp, and they have a lot more Capricorn traits. However, they were born early in the morning, literally on Aquarian day. But I went into labor while it was still Capricorn, and they are way more Capricorn than Aquarius. But cusps are real. I have a cousin who is a Aries Taurus cusp, and yeah, it's cusps.
Oh boy, talk about being good with like cooking and or like anything like that. They must like, yep. And also that child on the Capricorn Aquarius cusp, by any chance, do they like anything like a musical instrument, like a drum or a flute or something that they blow?
You know what? She played the flute.
Ha!
Yep.
See? When you know, you know.
When you know, you know. Mm-hmm.
And if she, whatever profession she does, she's going to be like a lioness in that profession. Like, she wants to go out there and be like, look, okay, I'm doing this. I need to do this. I need to bring this back for myself. Like, this strong sense of, like, going out there, working, coming back. Yeah.
Yep.
And also, that's a Lakshmi placement that she has, too. Her career and her sense of fulfillment is her Lakshmi. If she feels confident in the self, that's where Lakshmi comes in.
Yeah, and it's very interesting because my other daughter is a full-fledged Aquarius, and because my cusp, she'll be like, "No, I'm an Aquarius," and it's like, no, "You're a cusp, honey. You are 100% a cusp." Like they're like, yeah, 100% a cusp.
I mean, if anything, you can just tell her, well, the old man Saturn likes you either way, so hope you like him. Hey, nice to meet you, Missy. Who the heck is this guy? What do you mean, who the heck I am? I'm the original hipster, that's who. Oh, crazy kids.
Oh, fun. Aquarius, water bearer, and Pisces. Yes, and we're going through. I know I did see your comment earlier about no tarot reading. Tarot is on Tuesday, so Tuesday tarot. And right now we're doing our 12-week series on the astrological signs. We're really supposed to be talking about Leo, but we sometimes get a little sidetracked when we talk about other things because we're talking about the sun sign, but we will sometimes bring up like other things. So we are kind of just having fun right now. And I love the question about the cusp because I do see people all the time, like one of the groups I'm in, one of the astrological groups I'm in, like you see full-fledged horrid arguments about cusp because some people are like they're fake and some people are like they're real.
And funny enough, the places where the cusps really hit are Aries to Taurus, Gemini to Cancer. Then again, we're going to go all the way over to Leo and Virgo. Then Virgo, then Virgo to Libra. Okay, I'm trying to keep a hold of all this because it can get a little bit cray-cray. Okay, so then you have Virgo to Libra, then Libra to Scorpio, Sagittarius to Capricorn, Capricorn to Aquarius, then Aquarius to Pisces. In those specific spots, they're ruled by Jupiter and Mars, because those are the two that transition it. Mars has Mixtura, and Jupiter has, Pusha. Oh no, Punavasu. Whoops. Then for Leo, that one's also going to be Mars from Uttara Falguni to Uttara Falguni for the transition over there. Then for Virgo to Libra, that would be Jupiter, because that's Mars for Chitra. Duh. See, even I whiff it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a lot. There is a lot. I mean, and don't be intimidated if you start learning astrology. Like, it's a lot of learning and it's lifelong learning. And I mean, I don't know about you guys. I love learning. So for me, I just enjoy it. So Sunbun, I saw like, this is awesome that you're an Aquarius to Pisces. So you're going to be way more balanced than most Pisces because you're going to have that Aquarian, because Pisces tend to be they're the most emotional of the signs, of the water signs. But that's
speaking of that, now, okay, here we go. This probably might be a really good one. So, if he's the cusp of Aquarius and Pisces, let's see here. By any chance, do you happen to stand on one leg or lean on one leg? Is there a leg that you lean on more? And whenever you focus on something, you go all in with it. You go hyper-focus. If you want to learn photography, you go down to the absolute pit of figuring out the exact point to make a camera shot, the exact raw, right down to the midpoint.
Yep, he says yes. Yes.
Yep.
And it's air and water. So
Yes.
it's a very, so instead of that, I can pick a leg.
And as well, somehow, some way, he will have the ability to influence the weather to some degree. Very minuscule to some degree. And as well, because that's also the symbolization of Janus, he also would be able to relay messages from this plane to the divine plane. That's a quality for that specific part. So yeah, more you know.
The more you, yes, the more you know, the wiser you
I
are.
just started in that.
That's awesome. Yes. So just as a quick reminder, so Sunday we're very excited. It's the last part, and this is the fun part. This is the hands-on part of Bryn's book on Nyx, and then the following Sunday we will start The Great Divorce by C.S. Lewis. So I need to make sure I get that posted so everybody remembers it's going to be C.S. Lewis book next. But yes, Bryn's book, we're going to be talking about all the correspondences, and then Bryn's got some really amazing spell work in there. So that will be this Sunday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then Tuesday, we will be talking about the Hanged Man, the tarot for Tuesday Tarot at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to start with talking about the Hangman and Tarot. That usually is 30 minutes to an hour discussion. And then after that, we pull one card readings until there are no more questions. So you can be thinking of a specific question or just general, and you can just type general and you'll get a reading. And it's one card from me and Bryn. Occasionally we will pull an extra card because sometimes we do need to clarify your reading for you. So, but we love doing those readings. And then next week we will be talking about Virgo as we head into Libra.
And I think let's see here. So we got finished with the adjusted card. Oh yeah, our next card is He Who Sung Most.
Yes.
Yeah, boy, do I have a lot of information about that. And I don't think you guys are going to be ready for that one, but I hope you're ready. So get your what the heck are they called again? Oh yeah, hard hats ready.
Exactly. And if you ever miss any of these, the lives are posted on my Patreon and on my YouTube. So in my bio link, you can just, in my bio, I have a bio. It's, oh my gosh, it's not Linktree, but it's similar to Linktree. All you need to do is click that, and you can click either YouTube and subscribe or Patreon and subscribe. So, and for Patreon, the replays are, you don't have to be a member, but there are quirks for memberships if you want to do a membership. But yes, you can watch a replay there. They are a little bit behind because I did move. So I did move, but then my internet here, it was working really, really great until a couple weeks ago. And the owner's actually going to come help me with a workaround around it because it's not happy. Like today, we were literally down for almost 4 hours today, and I'm like, I work from home, I can't be down. But and that's why, like, I've had an occasional time where I'm freezing, but knock on wood, everything is running fine tonight, so thank goodness. So technology space bubble, yes, and I'm sure that this upcoming solar eclipse, well, I mean, we're in eclipse season, we just had a lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse, and I'm sure that's not helping much at all. Okay, I know it's not helping much at all. But ooh, love that it says Lilith on your thing, Bren.
Yes, I've had that. I mean, I've had that picture for
For a while.
before I even got on TikTok. Like, I think, yeah, I had that in 2020, I believe. Yeah. It's an old picture, but yet I still look the exact same as I do. My secret? Simple. Witchcraft.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, mine is Stonehenge. Literally my favorite place on earth. I cannot, like, yeah, I told my husband we have to go back, and he's like, but we've been there once. I'm like, no, we have to go back. Lilith, the matriarch of Christianity. She really is. She really truly is. So yes. Well, I want to thank everybody. What we're going to do is we're going to start wrapping up for tonight. So, Bren, any last words? And then if you feel like it, anything special to close?
Well, not that I could think of, so arrivederci, ciao, aloha, toodaloo, poodles, what have you.
Yes. So next week on Spiritual Panel, we will be doing Virgo. So, all right, everybody, thank you so much for joining. Always appreciated. Thank you so much for all of the hearts, and thank you so much for the gifts for both myself and Bren. And a huge thank you and lots of love to Bren. I always love having him here with me. And as always, merry meet, merry part, bright blessings, and namaste.